You know, I haven't seen any Fate in a while. What's it like? Oh. Jesus. Fate Stay Night is a visual novel from 2004, with the main storyline being adapted into an anime in 2006, a much better prequel series being released in 2011, and another anime adaptation of the original visual novel, this time with a different route, being released in 2015 by the same studio that made the prequel series. I'm sorry if the sudden bombardment of information confuses anybody that might be new to the Fate franchise, but I bring this up because, quite honestly, all of this information is necessary. Heaven's Feel is the third major storyline from the original visual novel, and seeing as how by the time the first film was released, the second storyline's adaptation, Unlimited Budget Works, had basically just finished. Heaven's Feel assumes that you at least have that basic knowledge of the franchise when going into this film, and it does very little to guide any newcomer. Characters will die without having been introduced, so any context into who these people are and why you should care needs to come from the other installments. Instead of rehashing old material to help newcomers catch up, Heaven's Feel instead chooses to use its time to show what about this storyline is different from the last, to the point where the film completely glosses over the introduction of Saber, which is arguably where the plot actually begins. If anyone is wondering whether or not they should actually watch this movie, the answer is simple. If you're a Fate fan, yes. If not, stay the fuck away. At least until you've watched one of the two 20+ episode anime that tells you the storylines, so you can at least have some basic concept of what the fuck is going on. That being said, as somebody who has seen those shows, was this good? Kind of. Heaven's Feel spends a lot of time developing the relationship of Sakura and Shinji with Emiya. My only problem with that is that I don't particularly like either character. Shinji is an edgy faggot, and Sakura is such a visual novel waifu that I found how perfect she was more repulsive than endearing. They can lead to the occasional fun moment, and despite those harsh descriptions, I never actually hated the characters, but I also didn't like them in any way at all, ever. The biggest problem with Heaven's Feel is that it wastes too much time trying to convince me to care about something I don't care about, and virtually no time at all developing the moments that are actually interesting. I had a pleasant enough time, and I'm kinda curious to find out more, but I don't think I'll ever be bored enough to actually finish the trilogy. 6 out of 10. This video is the 10th in a series of daily uploads where I review some movies I missed over the last decade in the hopes of making the ultimate anime of the decade list. This video was actually made because Angel HQ recommended Heaven's Feel to me back in my original cry for help. So if you have any suggestions for any anime, film or TV, released from 2011 to 2020, please tell me in the comments. I want to find out about it now as opposed to after I make the big ass video. Also I'm going to say some cringy sellout shit, and tomorrow's video is that Netflix Godzilla anime with the bad CG. You probably know the one if you ever browsed the anime selection. If you want to watch it in advance. Christ.